Welcome to the world of probiotic foods. This is Cultured Food Life with your host, Donna Schwenk.
Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining me. And we're going to talk about eczema today. I have done a podcast about this earlier, but there's been so much new information, and I've had so many more testimonies about it that I wanted to update this and give you a newer version of what we're learning, because everybody's always growing and expanding. There's always new information, new studies on the frontier. So I wanted to tell you some of the things that I think could really help you, because eczema can be a real problem. And so many people struggle, kids, adults, skin conditions are kind of a sign from your body that something is going on inside that you kind of need to be aware of. And especially with eczema, it causes itchy red patches on different locations on the body, and it really affects a lot of people. They say it affects 30 million people, especially children between the ages of 1 and 5. And the standard treatment that they give them is steroidal creams, antihistamines, but that really doesn't address the underlying problem of why it started in the first place. And scientists are finding that infants with a low intestinal microbial diversity during the first month of life, they have a lot of association with atopical eczema. And at least 60% of those cases are found in children under the ages of 5. But now, as things have progressed, more and more adults are getting these flare-ups. And more evidence is pointing to the use of antibiotics and diets that can harm the gut flora. And then they're not replenished. The gut flora doesn't get back the microbiome the way that it should. So eczema can also be called dermatitis, which is caused by an overabundance of antibodies in the system called immunoglobulins, IgEs. And the production of IgEs is the body's overreaction and attempt to protect itself. That's why eczema is considered an autoimmune disease, which means the body is basically harming itself. So underlying causes can be multifaceted, and you kind of have to be like a detective to figure out what's going on, why your skin is erupting and causing these really distressing symptoms. Remember, disease, whatever it is, in whatever form it comes, is not the enemy. It's the warning sign and the body's cry for help. So it's actually a good thing that your body does this, because it's looking for help from you, because something you're doing or something that's happening in its environment is causing it to flare up. So the first thing you need to do is to look at the gut. Many people with eczema have allergic reactions to foods, and we often see that people with food allergies are missing important gut bacteria that have been killed by antibiotics. And that's a big, tons of research on this now. It's popping up in countries in research all over the world. People are studying this in Australia, in Canada, in Turkey, everywhere. People are starting to realize that missing gut bacteria are causing these food allergies. And it can go hand in hand with eczema. And the skin is one of the body's biggest detoxifiers. And when you eat something the body can't digest properly, your skin flares up in an allergic reaction. Now, removing the offended food does help, but healing the gut with cultured foods or the bacteria that you're missing goes a long way, not only restoring that missing bacteria that's causing the food allergies, but then it allows the skin to heal and restore itself. And I recently posted an article and a podcast about healing from food allergies, and I will link that in the description on the article below. Now, something I want to really talk about is sugar and eczema. Sugar is a huge, huge trigger for any kind of skin eruptions. It causes inflammation and high glucose or hypoglycemia, which can result in increased inflammation systematically throughout the body. It just does that. That's what sugar does. Processed sugars. Foods high in sugars, you'll see it will trigger eczema flare-ups. And if you have eczema, watch and see if it doesn't worsen if you have sugar. Just see what happens, and you'll see a difference just by having it. And sugar causes your insulin levels to spike, which can result in inflammation and so many, many other health problems. So if you have any kind of skin problems, especially the ones that give you those red bumpy patches, and even if it's psoriasis, dermatitis, cut out the sugar. It's really important to do that because it does cause inflammation. There are a lot of foods that can cause inflammation in the body, and you ought to really watch that to see which foods you're reacting to. And if you're having a lot of food allergies, then you need to check your gut to make sure that you're replacing those missing bacteria. They have one of the biggest ones that we see, people are missing bifidobacteria. That's the bacteria you get at birth. We have ways to help you get more of that. Reuteri, a lot of people are missing that because you've taken an antibiotic, it kills it. Lactobacillus, which has a multitude of strains. All of those things are important bacteria. There's a colostria bacteria that has hundreds of species that many people are missing that causes food allergies. So it's really important that you pay attention and start to kind of be a detective with your own body. So I've had so many people tell me that their eczema is cleared up after having cultured foods, adding those cultured foods to their diet. Kefir, which can be dairy or non-dairy, is the cultured food with the most probiotics, and many have told us that kefir has made all the difference in these skin problems. And over the last few years, scientists have established a link between the gut microbiome and the skin. And they now know that if you alter your gut flora in a negative way, it can cause a severe reaction in your skin. Things like taking a lot of antibiotics over and over again that wipe out not only the bad bacteria, but the good as well, can lead to greater intestinal permeability or leaky gut syndrome, where this can allow certain things to migrate to the spleen, the lymph nodes, and increase the severity of allergic skin reactions. And if you're having that leaky gut syndrome, it can cause all kinds of problems in the body, and you'll notice it in the skin. And we take a lot of care in helping people to fix their gut lining and to feed. There's a special bacteria on your gut lining called Akkermansia, and it's if it gets the right food, it keeps the lining of the gut perfectly sealed. But if it doesn't get enough food, it starts to eat holes into the lining of the gut. And one of its preferred fuels is apple peels. It loves apples. It loves berries. It loves those things. That keeps it strong and fed and healthy. And Akkermansia makes up 4% of your gut, the bacteria in your gut. So it's really important. I have whole articles on this talking about how to keep that gut lining sealed, because often people with skin problems will have a leaky gut. And you eating apples or the apple peels or berries and having lots of bifidobacteria will help seal that gut, keep it strong, and keep you healthy in the long run. So kefir and especially cultured vegetables are loaded with a specific bacteria called Lactobacillus plantarum. And it's this particular bacteria is one that they studied, a SCORAD, SCORAD test they studied, and it's a clinical tool for assessing the severity of dermatitis in kids. And supplementation with probiotic L. plantarum, which is a very strong bacteria, but it's a transient bacteria, so it doesn't last very long in the body. They offered a potential treatment for children with this disease, and they're doing more and more studies on it to confirm its therapeutic effects on how much it's helped them. They did another double-blind study. It was conducted on 220 children, and they were 1 to 18 years of age with moderate to severe dermatitis. And the children received the probiotics, Lactobacillus, fermentin, and they also got some other bacteria that were in kefir. And the children who received these probiotics showed much lower scores of the inflammation than the placebo group. And this difference remained even after 4 months of discontinuing taking those strains of probiotics. And both of those saw severity in dermatitis really decrease. And another study that they did on 90 children who were 1 to 3 years of age with moderate to severe, types of skin issues, they were treated with Lactobacillus acidophilus, which is in kefir, and Bifidobacterium lactis with FOS, which is fructooligosaccharides and is a prebiotic. And that feeds the good bacteria. And they gave them both of that. They gave them the good strains of bacteria and the prebiotic at doses of 5 billion colony-forming units twice daily for 8 weeks, and they found a decrease in the SCORAD test, and 33.7% in the probiotic group got better. And FOS is great. We have it in a product called Prebio Plus. It's one of the main ingredients in there, and it feeds the good bacteria when you consume it with kefir. We actually have people put it in kefir. We put it in some of our yogurts because it helps feed the bacteria in our yogurts like El Ruderai. And we have another, I'm really excited about this. Probably shouldn't tell everybody this, but I'm going to anyway. We have another yogurt coming out called El Gasseri, which is a very powerful bacteria that's made the same way El Ruderai is. And we're going to be launching that in the next week or two. And I'm really excited because it has a lot of huge benefits for people. And I love that people are making these probiotic foods because probiotic foods work so much better than probiotics supplements because those can open up in parts of the body where you don't want them to open up. And I think that's why we're seeing a rise in SIBO and problems because people are taking these huge strains of probiotic supplement pills that they don't work very well, and they aren't taking them in the way the body's meant to have them, which is in a food form, which has a protective halo around the food and allows it to speak to the parts of the body it's needed. And this just opens up in, different places in the body, and it causes a lot of problems. So I'm really excited. So many people are making the yogurts and the kefirs and the vegetables, and they're filling their fridges with these fermented foods that really stay perfectly preserved in the fridge for months on end. So you don't have to do it all the time because you can get a lot and keep them in there. But they are so profoundly helping people restore some of those missing gut bacteria that are just wreaking havoc on their life. Now, I want to tell you about Cassie Barnhart's story. She sent in, we have a thing called Lives Touched on our Cultured Food Life website. And people send in, we've got tons of testimonies from people. And this is Cassie's story. And I wanted to read it to you. And you can also go check it out on my website. But if you want to see a picture, and I'm not sure she posted a picture, but you can still see it on there. And she talked about journey of healing herself and her son of eczema. The body really knows how to heal. It just needs your help. And you're the only one who controls what you put in your body. So listen to this story. This is Cassie's story. 2 years ago, my son and I developed eczema shortly after he was born. I knew that it was somehow connected to the IV antibiotics I received while I was in labor with him, since none of my other kids had antibiotics while I was in labor, and they were eczema-free. I've never had it before. I've never had eczema before the antibiotics either. Doctors told me there was no cure for eczema and that the antibiotics couldn't have given me eczema. My baby was covered from head to toe in horrible oozing eczema, and I had to keep his hands covered 24/7 to keep him from scratching himself to the point of bleeding. I noticed that our eczema had worsened when I ate anything with dairy or gluten in it, and I begged God for wisdom and started reading and research as much as I could. I started us both on probiotics and started drinking organic apple cider vinegar every day, which has probiotics in it. And when my son was old enough, I started giving him that too. Then I discovered sourdough and kefir, and voila, I no longer have eczema. It's amazing. My son is almost eczema-free, and he does have a flare-up. It's not bad at all. We're still working on getting his gut health restored. He loves his kefir and asks for it at every meal and drinks it with just a little bit of fruit from the second ferment. He knows he needs it. Doctors don't believe me, but it doesn't matter. I know without a doubt that it has healed us and the antibiotics were the root cause. Now, she just sent us another update on this not too long ago. And she said, Donna, I want to share this update with you. I wanted to give you an update. I think my son was about 2 years old when I originally shared our story, and now he's 5. He's been eczema-free for a few years now, and he still loves kefir, and now he loves kombucha as well, and we are free. So, and that was not maybe a few months ago she sent me that. Now, something else I want to talk to you about. This is really important, and I've seen dramatic results from really helping your liver, because your liver, your skin is often a reflection of what's going on in your liver. Your liver removes toxins 24 hours a day, and when it gets overloaded and excess toxins build up in the deep layers of the skin, it just can't eliminate them all. And it will come out through your skin. It can show up as eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis, rashes, or even acne. Many people with eczema can be treated with strong steroid creams or antihistamine drugs to stop the symptoms, but then the toxins are suppressed deep into the body and cannot escape through the skin, and things get worse over time, not better. Now, kombucha assists the liver in detoxification. Kombucha is full of glucuric acid, which plays a huge part in the body's most important detoxification process. Now, hang on, let me say that again. Glucuronidation, a process in which glucuric acid binds to toxins and transforms them so they can easily be eliminated by the kidneys. The liver produces this substance naturally on its own, but sometimes when the body can't keep up with the number of pollutants and toxins it comes in contact with, it needs extra help. And the extra glucuric acid in kombucha really helps make up the difference. It's fabulous for your liver, but it also, you'll notice when you first start drinking it that you might urinate more because it's flushing those toxins out through the kidneys. So it's short-lived. It doesn't last very long, but if you pay attention, you'll notice that it's really cleansing you. And I just got this a few weeks ago, an email from a subscriber who found that 4 weeks of drinking kombucha helped heal her sister's hands. And you should go check out the article because you can see pictures of what it would look like before and after. And she started making, this is her, I'm going to read her what she wrote to me. Hi, Donna. I want to share with you a healing story. I started making kefir and kombucha years ago after discovering your website. My sister recently got terrible eczema, and I was asking her to give me 1 month to see if I could help heal her from within. She started drinking kombucha daily, stopped putting on the steroidal creams, and she also stopped using the antimicrobial soaps. And in about 4 weeks, her hands completely healed, and she's so thrilled. And if you go to my website, if you click on the article descriptions or the links below, you can go see pictures of her hands before and after. Her name is Lisa McGovern. And it's amazing. I mean, I was shocked. It really was amazing to look at. So here's the deal. Adding fermented foods can change your gut flora in a really incredible way. And especially it can help with your skin conditions. All of the studies showed that many of the different strains of good bacteria work to help heal the skin because you don't need just one bacteria. I think you have anywhere to 50 to 500 different species in your gut. So why not try consuming a cup of kefir, a few spoonfuls of cultured veggies? You only need like a spoonful. You don't need a ton. You can even just drink the juice and a glass of kombucha every day. If you do this, you'll get all the probiotics that we've talked about in this study in 3 delicious foods. And the body has a protective halo, like I said before, around these probiotic food versus supplement, so it allows the body to utilize them more powerfully. Supplements can often be killed in stomach acids, and when you're trying to heal a skin condition, always start with the gut first. Eat lots of prebiotic foods that allow your good bacteria to grow and flourish, and eliminate sugary foods, processed foods. Eat lots of fruits and vegetables, good fats, quality proteins, omega-3 fatty acids that are in, you can get the supplements, but it's better to get it in like the fish. But there are many different protocols for dealing with ailments. All of them should consist of diet and essential nutrients such as probiotics, prebiotics, vitamins, and minerals that the body needs. Okay, now I have a couple more things I want to tell you about because I'm trying to give you all the help you need. So if you're really struggling and you have really bad problems, something else that can really help you is a product that Bodycology makes called Livamend. It really helps your liver. It's got all these things that help your liver. It actually helps improve bowel elimination too. But it decongests the liver and increases bile flow. And the liver and the bowels are the main organs for cleansing the body and tissues of toxins. So a congestive liver is reflected in the skin, in the eyes, and keeping that liver decongested is important to maintain overall well-being. But this product, and it's just capsules. It's kind of cool what it's got. It's got milk thistle, it's got wasabi powder, it's got things in it that the liver really needs to help it cleanse. You can try the other stuff first, but if you're really in a bad shape, this might be a good product for you. The other thing I want to talk to you about is mineral baths. I love mineral baths. I do it several times a week. And our body needs minerals, and we're constantly losing minerals through our sweat, and through our foods don't have the minerals they used to have in the soils. So we really struggle to get the minerals we need, and they are so important. They perform thousands of processes required to keep our cells healthy and thriving. And mineral salts, and I like the mineral salts that are from the Dead Sea. I have 2 different kinds I've tried that I absolutely love. And they can help your skin. I mean, I live in a dry climate now, so my skin can get really dry because I live in like a desert climate. And taking these mineral baths just is fabulous. It helps me so much because you're getting it in the form of a bath, but the body absorbs these minerals in the form of a bath very, very well. And one of the reasons I take mineral baths on top of it helps my skin, but it helps like my blood pressure. It helps to keep it low because there's a lot of magnesium in mineral baths, and you can get them. The Epsom salts have magnesium in them, and it's better to get ones that have a lot of minerals, but even that will help you absorb magnesium. It's like the perfect way to get magnesium because the body absorbs exactly what it needs and no more. And I've seen this so effective in me. I have watched it drop my blood pressure like nobody's business. And it's just because the body needs that magnesium to keep your blood pressure low. But I also have all the advantage of all the other minerals in the mineral salts. And I like the ones from the Dead Sea. There's 2 different brands. One was I think it was Ancient Secrets mineral, but I think that one is harder to find. I'm not sure they're still making it the same way. But I found another one, and I'm going to post that in the article if you want it, but you can get any one. But I really think that I got some really dry skin patches, but I got like this thing on my leg that I couldn't figure out. We have a lot of fruit trees in here, so we have a lot of, we have so much pollen and stuff. And sometimes I'll get some reactions to some of the things out in my yard, and nothing heals it faster than taking a mineral bath. Just from being out and about with millions of different types of pollens. I have a lot of bees, by the way. I think I have a bee hive on my property somewhere down behind the fruit trees in a rock. So I have a lot of pollen making things that my bees are busy taking care of. But anyway, so sometimes I'll get some little splotches and things, but a mineral bath is they used to use this in ancient times to help heal the skin. So I highly recommend it. You can find mineral baths anywhere. But that's just another thing to help you, because I try to pass on everything I know that will help you. And getting your gut fixed is really important. And then why not have fun with it and take something that's enjoyable and relaxing and feels good and smells good. So anyway, I just wanted to share with you some of the things I've seen help people, help myself, help my family, help my friends, that has made such a difference in all of our lives. So fix your gut first, add a lot of cultured foods. If you need extra help, you can get extra supplements through Livamend, or there's lots of liver supporters on the market that are very helpful, and also mineral baths. And I really suggest you try drinking kombucha. That's such a powerful way to help your liver. And it's got Saccharomyces boulardii in it, which is one of my favorite probiotics. And it's a yeast. It's not a bacteria. But it has billions of probiotics in it. It will help you, and so does kefir and cultured veggies. And they're powerful ways to heal you from the inside out. So if your skin is erupting, check your diet. Maybe you're taking or drinking something that you shouldn't be, that your body can't handle. Or maybe you're just overloaded with toxins. But anyway, your skin is a good teacher. It will show you what's going on from the inside out. So don't freak out about it. Just work with your body, because your body is there to help you. And it's giving you a warning cry that something's wrong and it needs some healing. So I hope this helps. This is an expanded version of another podcast I did many years ago. New things I've learned, new testimonies, things that are constantly helping me to grow and learn and to find ways to help you. So have a good week, guys, and we will see you next time.